Yo, Elliot, I can't stop making bad decisions. My intentions are good, but it's like I have a split personality and one part of me is just plain old bad. Yo, Elliot! Well, thank you, my friend. And it's wonderful that you recognize that there is a self-destructive side of yourself. There is a self-destructive side to every single one of us. You can't be here without a shadow. There is no light without shadow. There is no being without shadow. There is no sun without or day without night. The self-destructive side of yourself is just as important and intricate to your wholeness as your seemingly more positive or resourceful side. We have our negative sides or our dark sides or our shadow sides as a result of shoving things in there that we'd rather not see. That's how the shadow is developed. And when we incarnate into this flesh on this planet and we do our best, because that is our purpose, to fit in, to get along, to be a part of civilization, there are parts of ourselves that our parents, our teachers, the world at large is just not ready for. So you get chastised, you get turned down, you get shut up, and you shove it in the shadow. All the things that are in your shadow don't go away. They manipulate you from the dark. Right now, you're being offered an opportunity to take a look at those parts of yourself that you've been taught to shove away and resist. You begin your question talking about making the right decisions, making poor decisions. In one of my old videos, I shared perhaps one of the most profound pieces of insight I've ever received and shared. And that is that successful people don't make the right decisions. They make all kinds of bad decisions because successful people have shadows too. The difference between successful people and others is that successful people make their decisions right. And making your decision right begins with taking full responsibility, ownership, and loving your destructive side, your shadow side. All of those parts of yourself that we tend not to look at or acknowledge. Making the right decision isn't about fixing yourself or remedying the problem. It is about self-acceptance first. When you can fully accept your shadow and all the things in them, they no longer manipulate you from the dark side, from your ignorance, from your unconscious. Not only that, but when you begin to look at and love your destructive side, you can then begin to ask questions. Questions are much more resourceful than resistance. It's like when there's a fight between two people. Usually there's a misunderstanding. They resist and they fight one another and the whole thing's a bloody fucking mess. But if they would just pause for a moment and ask themselves and each other's questions like, what does this really mean? What's going on right now? What is this trying to show us? Or when I make this decision and I get this result, what is God trying to show me? What is my inner being trying to reveal to me? What part of myself have I denied and now is manipulating me from the underworld? When you accept, when you question, you remain open. And in that opening, all kinds of creativity becomes available to you. You then become an alchemist. You then have the capacity to transmutate those things that were festering and turn them into something that is beautiful. Your shadows, your destructive side, those things that you have shoved down in your deep, dark unconscious, oftentimes contain the greatest gifts you've been given. Joseph Campbell says we are not just not supposed to fight with our shadows or resist our shadows. He recommends that we eat our shadows. Take those very things that you've been resisting. Look at them, question them, look at them from multiple different angles, and then integrate it into your wisdom, into your being. We are not trying to fix ourselves. We are not trying to be something that we're not. We are not hoping to transcend the flesh and rise up and become spiritual beings or whatever it is that you may have been taught about our purpose here in living on earth. Our purpose, our journey, the joy of life is integration. You come here whole. And then the world helps us to forget ourselves, to fragment ourselves. And then the journey of remembering begins. When you remember, you reattach all of the members, all of the parts of yourself that we came here to lose, to forget. That's the journey. So, my friend, love your destructive side. Accept your destructive side. Remember that it is equal in part to your light side, and it will always be there. The biggest hoax, the biggest trick is that you can fix your sin. We come here sinful. We show up sinful. Just by the fact that we incarnate in the flesh, we materialize, we fall down, we become less of our potential, infinite potential, spiritual potential, has no boundaries. Boom, flesh has boundaries. So it's a part of the deal. Done.